Good morning, children. Now we will start lesson 1 in civics or democratic politics. Chapter 1, power sharing. See, the word itself is telling about the meaning of sharing. Sharing means we are dividing the power, right? So meaning of means sharing the power among the legislative, executive and judiciary. That means, see, one man cannot organize the whole country, right? That is the reason we have these three levels of government. That is legislative level, executive and judiciary. So legislative, you see that all the members of the elected members, they are taking care of their areas and their localities and all. Executive, the people, those who are working for the country, and judiciary in the court, related to the law. So these three are sharing their power among themselves to maintain the country in a proper way, in a disciplinary way. This is called power sharing. Is it clear? So next we move on to the why it is important in the democracy is the design of democracy. We start with two stories. For example, why it is important in this? So many of the countries, in the democratic countries, we need these three are very important because they are sharing their powers, responsibilities. So we start with two stories from Belgium and Sri Lanka. Understood? In this book they have given the comparison of that. How the Belgium was and how the Sri Lanka was before. So what will happen if there is no coordination with them? That is also there in this lesson. So let us start the lesson. Keep the textbook in front of you. Okay. Shall we start the lesson? Belgium and Sri Lanka. Belgium is a small country in Europe, smaller area than the state of Haryana. They are comparing our Indian state Haryana to the Belgium. Okay. It has borders of France, Netherlands, Germany and Luxembourg. These four countries are the borders of this area. See, it has a population of little over 1 crore. So Belgium has 1 crore population. It has a boundary of Netherlands, Germany, Luxembourg and France. Understood? And it has a population of 1 crore. About half of the population of, again they are comparing this to the Haryana. Indian state Haryana, they are comparing this country. Half of the population in Haryana, that is Haryana is 2 crores of population, but in the Belgium only 1 crore of population. The ethnic composition very complex. That means the language they are speaking, following the religion is completely very complex. It is very difficult, very different. Understood? So 59% of the total population, they are speaking Dutch language. Understood? 59% of the total population, they were speaking Dutch language, and 40% of the Wallonia region, and they speaks French. These 59% of the leaves and Flemish region, they came from Flemish region, they speak Dutch only. But 40% they are from Wallonia region, they speak French language. So remaining 1% of the Belgium speaks German. Only 1% of the people, they speak German. 59% Dutch. And 40% is French language. So 80% of the people speak French, while 20% are Dutch speaking. See, the capital of Belgium is Brussels. In Brussels, 80% people are speaking the French language, only 20% people are speaking Dutch language. See, that is the difference. Whole Belgium country, whole of the country, 59% of the total population, they speaks Dutch and 40% they speaks French. But in capital city, Brussels, 80% speaks French and 20% they speak Dutch. Understood? So now, so 20% speaking French, powerful. See how their people are. Only 20% they are speaking. So the minority French-speaking community was relatively rich and powerful. This was resented by the Dutch-speaking community who got the benefit of economic development and education much later. This led to the tensions between the Dutch-speaking and French-speaking communities during 1950s and 1960s. See what happened. The majority French speakers are there in this community. That community was relatively rich and powerful. Only 20% French speaking also, they were more powerful than the Dutch speakers. So this was resented by the Dutch speaking community who got the benefit of economic development and education much later. Beginning they got all the facilities, but these people they got much later. This led to the tension, that means the conflict between these two speaking communities in the year of 1950s and 60s. When the people are speaking in a French language, they are very less, but then even though they are more powerful. But Dutch speaking community, they are more in numbers, but they got that power later on. But in 1950s and 60s, this conflicts between these two people only. Understood? It presented a special problem. Brussels presented a special problem. The Dutch speaking people constituted a majority in the country but a minority in the capital. See, majority of the people Dutch speakers in the country, but the minority in the capital. In the capital, 80% they are speaking in French only. Brussels is the capital of Belgium, but in Brussels, 80% people are speaking in French, speaking the French language. Only the 20% the Dutch language speakers are there. So this is the main conflict between these two communities. Let us compare to the situation in the another country. Okay. In another country, what happened? In which country we are taking? Next we are taking to the Sri Lanka. Right? In Sri Lanka, it is an island. Sri Lanka is an island country, island nation. Just few kilometers off of the southern coast of Tamil Nadu. Where it is situated? Just few kilometers from the Tamil Nadu only. So it has about 2 crores people of population, same as Haryana. What is the population of Belgium is 1 crore. It is half of the Haryana population. In Sri Lanka, it is situated in the, it is an island. It is situated few kilometers far from the Tamil Nadu. But the 2 crore people are, the population is 2 crores in Sri Lanka. That is the same as Haryana. They are comparing this country to the state of Haryana. Okay. So, like other nations like South Asia region, Sri Lanka has a diverse population. The major social groups are Sinhala speakers. They have other social groups also in Sri Lanka, but major Sinhala people were there. Sinhala speakers are there. They speak Sinhala language, and Tamilians also there, and even the Christians also there, even the Muslims also there. All the people are staying in Sri Lanka. But the 74% of the people, they are speaking Sinhala language. Understood? And only the 18% Tamil speakers were there. Only 18% Tamil speakers were there. 74% Sinhala speakers were there. among Tamil, some subgroups also there. Two subgroups are there. Some are Tamil native country are called Sinhala Sri Lankan Tamils. In Tamil, 18% Tamilians are there. In that they have subgroups also there. One group is called Sri Lankan Tamils, that is 13% are there. The rest, only the 5% of the people are Indian Tamils. They are going in the colonial period. In the British period, they went there and they started their plantation. So they are called as Indian Tamilians. So as we can see from the map, Sri Lankan Tamilians concentrated in the north and the east of the country. Most of the Sinhala speaking people are Buddhists. So most people are Buddhists are there. Only the 7% Christians who are both Tamil and Sinhalas. Understood? The speakers, those who are there in 18% and in 74%, totally if we take that one, only 7% are Christians are there. They are who are both Tamil and the Christians, they are from Tamil as well as to the Sinhala people. Is it clear? So, what could happen in this situation is, just to imagine the communities if have any disadvantage of these things. So what will happen? The conflicts definitely will leads to the messy of partition. There must be a big partition will be there because this community speaks this one, that community speaks this language. So community conflicts will be definitely it will be there. Even in any of the country, if it in this case the conflict will be there. In the same way, the conflict was there at the time also. The numeric majority and force it on the French and German speaking population. See what happened now, Dutch community could take advantage of its numeric majority. They are very less, huge people are there also, but they are less in capital city. So this conflict between these communities will further, it was continued there. So both the sides would claim the control over the Brussels. Both wants to take the control over the Brussels. But in Sri Lanka, Sinhala community enjoy their majority because 74% people are in Sinhalas only. So they enjoy their majority and they impose their language. They could impose its will on the entire country. That means entire country is under the control of the Sinhala people. See now what happened if those countries, if it is happened in these countries, what will happen? That we are going to read in the next. Okay. So next we move on to the majoritarianism in Sri Lanka. See, as we learnt now, what we learnt? The 74% are Sinhala speakers in Sri Lanka and 18% Tamil speakers, and among that subgroups also there. That means 13% they are from Sri Lankan Tamils and 5% they are from Indian Tamils. They went in the colonial period only for the plantation. So all these things we learned about the Sri Lanka. But in this Belgium, what we learned, that was 59% total population speaks Dutch. Only 40% they speak French and only 1% people are there. Right? That 1% they spoke other language. So this among that all over the country, if you take 59% and 40% we can divide. But if you take only the capital city of Brussels, there the 80% people are speaking French only. Only 20% Dutch language they used to speak. Because of that, they are taking the power. Because French are dominating the power over their languages there. So these things we learnt still now. Now we move on to the majoritarianism in Sri Lanka. See, in Sri Lanka emerged as an independent country in 1948. Sri Lanka emerged as an independent country in 1948. See, Sinhala established their supremacies there because Sinhala is the major language speakers in Sri Lanka. Right? So that what happened? So as soon as it established in the year 1940, the leaders of Sinhala community secured their dominance over the government. Understood? They secured their dominance over the government. So as a result, the democratically elected government adopted a series of majoritarian measures to establish Sinhala supremacy. So to establish their dominance there, their supremacy is there, Sinhala they are taking the majority to run the government there. But in 1956, Sinhala recognized official language. Sinhala language is accepted as the official language. But what happened for the Tamilians? They are disregarding of Tamil. The Tamil was not an official language. Official language of Sri Lanka was Sinhala only. So this was the major drawback for the Tamilians. So in Sinhala applicants for university positions and government jobs, a new constitution stipulated that the state shall protect and foster Buddhism. So applicants for university positions and government jobs, they all were supported to this Sinhala language. So what happened? A new constitution stipulated, adopted to protect the states will protect and foster Buddhism. Understood? Foster Buddhism also they have to protect. All these government measures coming one after the other gradually increased the feeling of alienation among the Sri Lankan Tamils. So everything is dominated by the Sinhala people. So it is automatically the Tamilians in Sri Lankan Tamilians, they felt separate it is. They felt separate. So they left that none of the major political parties led by the Buddhist Sinhala leaders was sensitive to their language and culture. They felt that the constitution and government policies denied them equal political rights, discriminated against them in getting jobs and other opportunities, and ignored their interests. So when the majority is there for the Sinhala language, Sinhala people, automatically all the preferences will be given to those people only. No doubt about that. But these people, they felt the constitution and the government policies denying the equal rights. They are not giving the equal rights and they are discriminated against the getting the jobs also. So as a result, the relations between the Sinhala and Tamil communication strained over a time. Because of that, the conflicts were started between these two communities. Sri Lankan Tamils launched parties and struggled for the recognition of Tamil as an official language, for regional autonomy and equality of opportunity in securing education and jobs. But their demand for more autonomy to provinces populated by the Tamils was repeatedly denied. So what they thought that the Tamilians, they want to start one party there. They want to start the government there. They want to start one political party to get the majority if they get the majority, they will get equal rights and they will get good opportunity of education and they will get good opportunity for job also. Because of that, they started one regional party also, they want to start that one. But this was not successful because many of the people are speaking the Sinhala language, but it was denied only. By the 1980s, political organizations were formed demanding an independent Tamil Eelam in northern and eastern part of Sri Lanka. But they cannot hold the whole Sri Lanka, but only the northern and the eastern part of Sri Lanka was independent Tamil Eelam, that is Tamil Eelam state. The separate state was there. Distrust between these two communities turned into widespread conflict. So this led to the conflict between these two communities. It soon turned into civil war. So in 1980, several political organizations formed into an independent Tamil Eelam state. That I already told you, they already start Tamil Eelam state. But the northern and eastern parts of Sri Lanka only, they established their provinces. This was the major conflict and it was led to the civil war in the Sri Lanka. As a result, thousands of people, both the communities have been killed. Many families were forced to leave the country as refugees and many more lost their livelihoods. And you have this you can read in the next 10th standard next classes. Okay. So about Sri Lankan excellent record of economic development, education and health, but the civil war has caused a terrible setback to the social and cultural economic life of the country. So they were well settled at the time, but because of this war, their social and cultural economic life of the country was set back. So it is that war was ended in the year 2009. Still that they were struggling to get their majority there. Okay. We will continue in the next class, children. Thank you.